I
Yeah.
know.
No.
Now we're looking at you into your eyes.
Right in your eyes.
So, welcome now to the 218th Angry Cuddles podcast.
218.
My name is Steven. Today's episode is brought to you by Applebee's. Applebee's, now you know what a soup kitchen is like. Joining me today,
I think they have better standards against rats.
Chuck. Pikachuck. DJ Pikachuck. Chuck asked me, he goes, why all the Applebee's hate? Like, why can't we lampoon other businesses? And I was like, well, we can. But A, I really do hate Applebee's. And B, part of the joke is that it's sort of semi-arbitrary. Like, it's not fun to make fun of companies that deserve it.
Whoa.
Are you kidding me?
No, I am kidding you a little bit.
Applebee's did something to you.
I am kidding you a little
something
bit.
real bad.
Yes.
Will Roth is there in the third chair.
Hello, 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 everyone.
And on the end is Shirk. In the awesome bat shirt.
The actual wording that he used is, and I quote, "Oh yeah, but I actually," and then all caps again, actually.
But I actually
hate
Applebee's. I
quality.
really do. But yeah, Zufo, from what we were talking about pre-cast, says Amazon has really good customer service. And they do. Microsoft has phenomenal customer service. They resent me a copy of Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain. And so, just so you guys know, the giveaway in December is going to be Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain on Xbox One.
Oh,
So
snap.
for Christmas,
Wait a minute,
you're getting the full.
Are we doing an actual
brand new
download,
game.
or are we going to be
No,
doing a solid copy?
It's a hard copy. It's a disc.
Hold on.
Are we going to
What's
sign that?
happening? Did you just say
Okay, here are
they're
the
giving away?
Here are the giveaways that are coming up. The first Monday in October, it's Halloween month, so we're going to be giving away a little Resident Evil box.
Wait, let me take notes so that I can actually put this on our.
Do you wanna put it
because
in there?
We actually do.
We should be
now
putting this on some sort of a
have-
website.
It is. It's on the Twitch. It's on our Twitch page.
On the Twitch, yes, but
oh,
let's
it
put it on the
is- it is-
Facebook.
It's on the Facebook.
Or,
Okay.
you know, that place where we can all download our fantastic, awesome games.
Yep, the Steam group that Shark made.
Yes.
We have.
Thank you.
Which I
forgot
have
that
yet to
word.
take part
That's
in
right.
because I don't have a working computer yet.
But
God, that sucks.
Don't
In
get
October.
me started.
in October is the Resident Evil box.
Okay.
You're gonna get some
Ooh.
Resident Evil merch, a couple figurines, a
Fitting
little
for
dog
October.
tag, I think a
Are
little water bottle.
Are you sure you want to be able to give away
I can
Resident
get rid
Evil
of some
stuff
Mario
on
stuff.
your birthday?
Yeah, I can.
Happy birthday
I
to
really
me! I'm losing all of my toys.
In November, you're getting the Angry Cuddles personal items boxes. I don't have a better word for it, but you'll be getting something from Angry Cuddles,
See,
either comic prints
Can
or a
we
graphic
say
novel.
something other than personal items, because that was my
That
office
was
word
your
for
word
lady
for-
things.
Yeah.
Well, we
Yeah.
could send them a box of
We
tampons.
are
that's
sending
fine.
them lady things.
And
we could all sign a feminine napkin.
you're also getting
Which would be very fitting for this website.
a special edition of the Moonlight Native CD.
Yes.
We're going to have Shark. Shark will make something to
I will.
add to the box.
Do
And Chuck will
some art
also
or
make or do something. I don't know what. Yep, you're going to have to do something. Because you got to be represented. You got 2 months to think about it, so think about it.
Okay.
Send your underwear.
Shitting on a piece of paper does not count.
I get a picture.
Right.
I get a picture of me doing the
Right,
the
your
pose
name.
from the Deadpool teaser. Is this him laying in front of the?
Right.
Do that.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Except it's going to be.
And then write your name underneath it in blood.
Him wearing the Pikachu headphones and
Oh, and nothing else. Pikachu headphones and a pair of boxers.
A Santa hat
Oh,
over
okay.
your schlong.
Perfect. Sometimes I really like the way this guy
I got
thinks.
I got it done. But today, what we're going to be talking about is
Stuff.
Stuff.
We're going to be talking about stuff.
Shiny stuff.
Like literal stuff.
This was Shark's idea, so I want to give her the props for this. This is a really good idea.
Props. We're talking about props.
Props, weapons, and armor, and
I
games, and
make
movies, and
props.
cool shit.
All that good stuff.
So, sorry guys, I'm still getting used to this. What has been first? What's your favorite weapon? Like, are you guys gun folk or sword folk? Like,
It
what
depends
if you have to
on-
choose one?
no,
My-
no.
no,
See, the
you can't
problem I
do that.
have there: are we doing modern? Are we doing fantasy? Are we doing sci-fi? What system console are we doing?
You're gonna be gifted one this Christmas, and the only thing that the person getting you the gift wants to know is if you're a gun person or a sword person.
I want a gunblade because then I get both.
Blade.
That's cheating.
There's something like that in Assassin's Creed 4.
And Dragonfly 1972 says she will take the Chuck pictures.
I I think we might actually have to do this.
I love you,
now.
baby.
This is going to be fantastic.
Happy anniversary.
I think I have a Pikachu backpack that's like the giant Pikachu, and you could just put it right there.
Oh!
There's
I
a
got
little
it. I got
zipper
it.
in the back, but please don't do anything.
Yeah.
A
Please
Santa
don't.
hat with the Pikachu ears.
That'd be good.
It's the thing of
Look
my
at you.
nightmares.
You're welcome.
Okay, so anyway, none of you guys have answered my question yet.
Yeah, I'll answer.
Good
Swords.
answer.
Swords for sure. Yeah. Sword guy.
Sword
Sword
guy.
guy.
Chuck?
Oh,
Sword guy.
goddamn.
Your dad was a metal worker,
My dad is a metal worker.
or your dad fashioned swords in his spare time.
Not dead
Hell,
yet.
Knives.
So do I.
Are you any good?
Not as good as he is. Like, I'm not on special dispensation from the Filipino Special Forces, but yes.
Are you bad at it?
Well, I'm not bad. I'm just mediocre.
Just
truthful.
meh.
Just be truthful. Are you
I'm just,
bad at it?
I'm just meh.
You shitty at it?
You give this to children so that they don't
It
kill
depends on the
themselves.
kind of metal.
I wanna
It depends
pry.
on the kind of metal and the technique.
I wanna
I'm
get
using
real
to
I'm
here.
gonna
work,
guess.
right?
I'm gonna guess you'd rather have a sword.
Actually, if I'm going to go melee, I would not use a sword. I'm a battle axe guy. I'm a kind of
Okay.
guy where
I will
all
accept that
the
answer.
weight needs to be in the front so that I can build up a lot of momentum and just hack through things. Like a few years ago, we were doing a zombie survival episode for Halloween, and one of the questions was, "What was your zombie survival kit going to include? What was the weapon?" And my weapon was essentially. The weapon from Dead Rising 2, where it was the sledgehammer and the fire axe, and he basically just like duct taped them together.
Although we'll get into the game weaponry and stuff in a second. But what about you, Shark?
I don't like being front to front in combat. I like to be further away, so something that I can literally be like, I guess magic missile,
She's
and now I'm
Sniper
gonna run
Wolf.
away.
Lightning bolt. Lightning bolt.
Yes.
Like
Magic
we could
missile
put
out
you
the
on
darkness.
the
So
not the
probably something like
centrifuge. What is the
a-
word I'm thinking of?
We're gonna put her on a centrifuge.
Catapult. A catapult.
It's catapult, but it's a better word than catapult. Was what I was trying to
Ballista?
think of. No. Launcher. I don't know. Whatever it is.
Trebuchet.
What about
God,
you, Steven?
Trebuchet. That was the
trebuchet.
word that I was looking for. Son of a bitch. I've always been, and this is from my '90s action. Like when I was, growing up, my favorite action movies were like Face Off and Con Air.
So you are a gun
and
guy.
yeah, like any game that I can dual wield pistols in,
Right.
I pretty much will use that the whole game.
So Devil May Cry.
Yeah.
Where you quite literally get
Well,
the option.
Devil May Cry, I is just so.
Realistically, dual wielding.
Don't
Oh,
shoot.
oh, no,
were
yeah.
You, were you
It's-
about to
Yeah.
insult Devil May Cry?
For sure. Oh, I was gonna say, well, Devil May Cry sets it up so that you have to melee. But if I didn't have to melee, I
Right.
probably would the whole time. But even like in first-person shooters, if I get the
Crossbow.
opportunity to,
Or bow.
so then now here's my question. And some of the guys in our chat have already answered their
Zuko's
game
did
weapons.
too.
What's something that you can get, like for me, dual pistols in a game where you're fucking excited about it, or what have been some of your favorite weapons from games or movies? We can or comics. We can extend this out.
Right.
We've heard pesticide guns from EDF, which I believe is Earth
Hobby
Defense
horse
Force.
from Alice the Madness Returns.
What is it again?
The hobby horse from Alice the Madness Returns.
What are you talking about?
The great big
The
fuck
level
off knife that
3 one.
that Pyramid Head drags behind him.
Okay.
I don't even know if I
What's
would
the-
call that a knife.
What's the hobby horse do?
You hit things with it,
Oh, okay.
and it usually has fire and stuff.
Um,
It's kind of like a warhammer.
Okay. Gotcha.
I was a really big fan of the way Dead Rising 2 and 3 did their weapons. Like, you got the first Dead Rising, you could pick up literally anything and use it as a weapon. Maybe it was effective, maybe it wasn't. You could find effective weapons as you went along. But
Chuck
the Dead
motherfucking
Rising-
Norris. Good to see you again.
Ow.
Been a while, mate.
Hey.
How's it going?
Motherfucking noise.
Welcome in.
Well, and then Dead Rising 2, they gave you the opportunity to start building
Building shit.
weapons, and then that was really, really cool.
It was cool and a monstrous pain in the ass.
Oh my God, Zufo, the dubstep gun from Saints Row. Yes.
Yep.
Wait, what?
Yes,
What,
yes.
what
Yeah.
about the unicorn fart gun?
The unicorn fart
Which,
gun?
which one is that? Where you have a unicorn and you're pointing it backwards at someone and you make it go "Fweep," and it's rainbows, and you see the unicorn does this contorting face of.
I don't know, but I need to see this. I need to see.
Zufo mentions Cloud's Buster Sword, which is definitely one of the most iconic weapons in video
And
games.
he
I
has-
actually, as far as iconic Cloud things, I like the nail bat.
The
nail
yeah,
bat?
because materia slots are for pussies.
And Game Guy says Phantom Bow from Battlefield 4. It's a bad weapon, but he likes it. I don't remember. I don't know if the Phantom Bow is specifically a bow, maybe a composite or compound bow, like bow and arrow. But that's the other thing that I do. If I have a bow and arrow in a video game, Last of Us, Tomb Raider, Crisis, I will only use that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will
I'm
see.
Link.
I will see your phantom bow, and I will raise you a torque bow.
Oh, from Gears?
Yep.
Yeah, the torque bow.
I mean, what's
Ping.
The agony crossbow from the Evil Within.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Yep.
The agony crossbow.
Where you can make the custom bolts.
Mm-hmm.
I love the exploding bolt,
Compound
unless you're
bow.
too close.
Man, Evil
Which
Within.
is usually how it
Evil
happens.
Within was really good.
It
I
was.
just
Like,
wish
that's a solid ass fucking game.
I
I need to see the rest of the cutscenes because I haven't actually seen all of the game.
One of our Twitch
I
riffs.
did co-captain with somebody else
followed
playing it.
followed along with someone else playing.
No,
it.
I sat on the couch next
Yeah,
to them as
that's
they
what I
played.
We did a Twitch riff of it, and we still have those episodes are still up on our YouTube, and I'm actually going to try and do that again with Mike, where we play through the first hour of a game and we riff on it, kind of like Mystery Science Theater.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I would love to do this.
But we did that with Evil Within. It was me, Mike, and Joseph actually, and that was super fun. But I forgot how much I really liked that game.
Actually, what we could probably do with that might actually be fun is get some old fighting games and have people help us pick which people play, which partner.
That'd be good. Game Guy also mentioned, I don't think I said this yet, the crowbar in Half-Life.
Iconic.
Oh, the
super
gravity gun.
The gravity
That was a big moment.
The gun that was so popular and so well loved that they built an entire game around it. Gary's mod.
Yeah.
I mean, shit. And then Portal.
Yeah, the portal gun.
Yeah.
Portal
That's a
gun
big
would
one.
be a mess. That's
But-
not even really a
But
gun.
that is to
It
me.
points
that is not
at
a weapon.
things.
That was one of the best scenes in games or in movies where something that's been there the whole time all of a sudden gets like exponentially better. So the gravity gun, you're grabbing saw blades or barrels or whatever, and you're firing at people, and then at the end it gets supercharged, and so you're grabbing like people and you're flinging like blamming them into each other and shit.
Oh,
that
so
was
like
really.
like a weird Katamari.
Oh, Zufo said crowbar. Sorry,
Yeah.
Game
Oh,
Guy.
that's what it was. Yeah, the
And
BFG.
sorry, Zufo. The BFG, yeah, that's one. The BFG. What is that? A Doom?
Yeah.
Yep.
The Doom weapon?
The big fucking gun.
The big fun gun, sir.
Oh, I'm
Thank
sorry.
you very
Okay,
much.
so-
The big
um,
fun gun.
The big fun gun.
Has everybody at least played Kingdom Hearts in some fashion or form?
Kingdom Hearts 2.
Of course.
Yep.
Okay, which is your favorite Keyblade?
None of them because they're silly.
Ooh,
No,
damn.
every
Damn, girl.
every blade is a key. You stick it into someone, and it unlocks their death.
I'm trying to figure out how to light him on fire. with a lighter.
Can you do that with your gaze?
No, I was looking
I
at.
wish I
I
could
was.
hate you to
I was
death.
looking at certain swords, like really iconic swords in video games, and some things that you look at and you go, God, that would be amazing to wield or whatever. Most of them you can't wield because
They're too heavy
They're,
or they're
well, they're too.
impractical.
Yeah, or they're impractical, like a keyblade. First off, the handle. What? That's ridiculous.
Actually, I had two prop Keyblades, and they're a little cumbersome. It's not a very great
Sure.
balance, but it's something that you can work with.
It's basically
Can
like
we please separate realism from this shit, like a little bit?
Hey,
It's
no,
more like
no,
a
we will
baseball
not,
bat.
Steven.
There's
We
no
will not.
actual cutting.
I will not separate realism.
You have a highly decorative baseball bat.
Yeah,
you just
exactly.
Bludgeon
So,
shit
true.
to
well,
death.
what was your favorite Keyblade then?
My favorite Keyblade is going to be the Halloween Town Keyblade.
Of course.
Of course
Yeah.
it is, yeah.
But I didn't have...
Sounds good. So they're gonna have a lightsaber Keyblade, I guess, in Kingdom Hearts 3.
Are they?
God, I hope
Get
so.
the fuck out!
That's
All
really
right.
cool.
All
I'll
right,
give you
I
that.
gotta
That's pretty
look
cool.
at. I gotta
That
look at these
seems more
pictures.
practical.
I'm just guessing.
And,
I'm just guessing.
My other favorite one was the
Oh wait, no, that was always mine.
Which one?
The Oath Keeper.
The
Yeah,
Oath
the Oath
Keeper.
Keeper. Okay.
Mine was the Sleeping Lion.
I only played the
Sleeping
first one,
Lion.
and I don't even remember upgrading it.
Oh,
Like I only played the first Kingdom Hearts, and I don't remember any
You
changes
get
to the
multiple
Keyblade. You get multiple.
Keyblades,
Okay,
yes.
I don't remember it.
you have to go into the menu.
Full
and change
disclosure,
it.
I did not like Kingdom Hearts.
Well,
I-
then
I
you have
really-
no imagination and you hate all
There are
puppies.
two parts.
I do not like Disney.
Two parts to all the Kingdom Hearts games that I hate the most. the Little Mermaid world,
Right.
and I have problems with the Winnie the Pooh section.
Well, you know,
Who doesn't?
water
Winnie the Pooh
water
section you
levels
had to
in
keep
every
coming
game
back
suck.
to.
No, it wasn't that it sucked. It wasn't even necessarily fighting. You had to sing.
Oh, the Metal Chocobo.
It was a rhythm game. I was like,
Yeah.
fuck this.
Zufo says the Keyblade is as practical in the real world as a talking mouse.
Thank
Hey,
you.
guess what?
Thank you, Zufo. Thank you.
That's funny.
I agree with you.
But lightsabers, that's an iconic weapon.
Well, it's a very iconic weapon, but also just the most dangerous thing
In the
could be
world,
put into
right?
anyone's hands.
Like,
If I was like, Chuck, check out my new
Holy
lightsaber, I would end up cutting his or my hand off.
Well, it's just
Okay,
treat
so-
a Keyblade. Just treat a lightsaber like you would a gun. Don't point it at the person you're trying
Yes,
to show
but
it to.
the first thing that Luke
true.
does when he gets his lightsaber
He's
is
waving around like an idiot. You know why?
He looks
Because
straight at
whenever
it.
you give anybody
I'm
a
a
brand new
5-year-old.
weapon, the first thing they do is try to figure out how to use it. It's practically human nature.
Yeah.
But
The
don't
ZF-1.
stick the deadly end in your face.
Yes.
the ZF-1 from the Fifth Element.
And the all-new Ice Cube system.
Oh, if they'd been
God,
real wars,
I
they would
really-
have asked about the
can
little
we-
red button on the bottom of the gun.
So, what I want to know is,
Yeah.
Steven, you know, obviously not to push topics here.
No, come
but,
at me.
You know, we have all these great blades, all these
Yeah.
great pieces of weaponry.
Yeah.
Where are we keeping them? What kind of system are you keeping these things in?
Yeah.
See, anytime I see those, there's always a joke among artists that you have all this either A shoved up your butt,
Right.
or you have like this giant stack of stuff weighing you down, and you're like, I'm trying to march with all this shit.
So keep the weapons conversation coming, guys. The Chuck motherfucking Norris says 3 laser beam gun from Contra.
Wait, okay, 3 laser beam gun or the laser beam gun?
I think it's 3. The 3 laser beam gun.
I've never heard of the 3 laser beam gun.
As far as inventory systems go, I really appreciate the ones that make visual sense. So let take Halo. You can carry your sidearm and you can carry one other weapon. Period.
Yeah.
Or no, I guess you can carry 2 weapons. That is the thing. Right? You have one on the magnet on your back and the one in your hand.
Is
so
that
you can
how
have
they
a sniper.
justify it? They call it the magnet?
Yeah, the power
The
armor.
Velcro.
The power armor has like this
Oh.
clicky cling thing that he snaps
Okay.
into the back.
That's what I thought.
That
the
makes
laser
sense.
beam from Contra.
Yeah.
Okay.
Paddle from Pong. Thank
The paddle
The
from
paddle
Pong,
from
yes.
Pong is a
Excellent
phenomenal weapon.
Excellent weapon. All right, Zufo, the laser beam from Contra.
It was Chuck motherfucking Norris that said it.
Thank you. The laser beam from Contra. I actually learned how to use the weapon, and the thing is, it doesn't work the way everybody would like it to in a button or in a game where all you do is you just keep hitting the button over and over and over and over and over again. You're supposed to hold it, and you get a nice long beam, and it counts as like 10 consecutive hits against a single weapon, a single target.
It's not the
You
weapon
have
you
to learn
want.
how to
It's the weapon you deserve.
It's the weapon that's going to teach you how to get really good at Contra. You're going to learn how to be really, really spot on with your shots.
Okay, so you guys think, and if you have an answer, what is a game where there's been an inventory system you've loved and one you've hated? And so, Chuck, I was going to guess yours before we mentioned it earlier as Resident Evil 4 for one you love.
Yes.
Will, you're anti.
So angry.
Okay, I want you two to go at it here. Go for it. Resident Evil 4, inventory
Okay,
system,
let's
go.
do this.
Well, let me ask you this, Will.
Yeah.
How OCD are you?
Not really.
I am OCD as fuck when it
I
came
got
to that
99
inventory.
Were
potions
you?
before I got
Did
to
you?
the
Did
second
you?
town
Were you?
in Kingdom
Were you
Hearts.
always like switching things around so it Tetrised out perfectly?
Healing items went here in the top
Oh,
left corner.
you son of a
Ammo
bitch.
went down here in
Yeah.
the bottom
Okay.
left. I had grenades next to the healing items, and I had single-handed weapons like the pistols right there underneath the grenades, and then I had the big long guns like the rocket launcher and stuff.
Thank you, Zufo.
Were light up like vertically when I finally got the big box.
So essentially,
Right.
with
Just-
this game, you need someone who likes puzzle games and to
The
organize your
inventory system is essentially a puzzle game. Yeah, it's sort of like
Believe it or
Diablo.
not.
Resident Evil 4. So, in case you guys haven't played Resident Evil 4,
It's grid. It's grid.
It's a grid. It's your briefcase essentially
Yeah.
that you never see. And so, like the ones that I appreciate are the ones that you can see. Like in some games, you can whatever weapon you have is shown on your character.
Right.
And I appreciate when games do stuff like that. But
It's immersive.
yeah. So Resident Evil 4 is a briefcase, and you put the shit in it that can fit in the briefcase, and everything has a grid.
Yeah.
going back to the inventory system, the original Resident Evil.
Have you seen a woman's purse? You would be surprised how much you can fit
Oh
in
my
a purse.
God! It's like Merlin's bag from Sword in the Stone.
See, we don't see it,
Everything
but
goes in it.
inside a woman's purse there is a grid.
But
I
And they
have a handbag of holding.
oh, very nice.
Wow.
In Resident Evil, you could carry 6 things. Like, I think Jill could carry 8, Chris could carry 6. So if you have your gun, that's at least one spot, one at the very least. Ammo for that gun is a second spot. And if you have healing items, each healing item takes up a spot. So if you want to carry 2 healing items, your inventory is about full.
Zufu brings up a really good point in that if you were in a tactical situation like that, having to deal with something like that, you would have to be more
Well, this is sort of what I'm
structured on what you
this is sort of my
kept.
point. Is I hate it because I'm like, oh, fuck, I have to go put this in the box and then
Right.
run back and grab that and then come and whatever. But at the same time, you're a human being who can only carry so much shit, and especially in a survival horror game, that's part of where the tension comes from.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I'm gonna need that. I have to go back through the zombies to go put this away.
Right.
So yeah, I have a love-hate relationship with Resident Evil.
See,
I have a love-hate relationship with anything that has to force me to have to go back to town to access items.
Zufo says, Shark, you just blew my mind. Jill's inventory had more spaces because of her bag.
just girly
Just
things.
girl things.
Well, see,
That sounded vaguely sexist.
Chuck him North says
Okay,
every
but
weapon from...
hold on, stop, real quick. How many pockets do you guys have?
4.
Four.
5. I have 5.
I have
on me
5.
right
Yeah.
now.
I have 6.
I have 2 and one that can hold maybe a quarter.
Right,
I have
yeah.
2 fake pockets on the front part of my pants.
Right.
Yeah.
Most
They
of my
literally are fake
pockets-
pockets. They're so tiny.
No, they are fake pockets. There is no pocket.
They're
That's
just sewn on.
That's why she's...
sewn there.
Yeah, so she's saying
What's the
she
point of
has to
that?
have an extra bag. I carry around a side satchel.
It's
That's usually
probably
for
a
electronics.
conspiracy to sell purses.
I guess. I guess.
I don't know, maybe.
Well, see, I understand for like survival horror games, like the the grid inventory and the minimal
Yeah.
kind of carrying capacity, but for certain games like,
Not enough rooms for folks.
and here we go. Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
Certain games like Bethesda games,
Where you can carry everything.
Where-
On your person,
where
you
your
carry
guy has
everything.
6 different great swords that you just couldn't let go of.
2 or 3 complete
That-
suits of
that-
armor.
Yes.
That is how my inventory in most games ends up looking
I
whenever
just,
there
I
is
just
an
need,
inventory.
I need to find the right person to sell these 5 massive great swords to, and then I shall be free.
And then you get through the final cutscene and you're like, I never sold those fucking
I
swords.
never
Yeah,
sold
it's
them.
true. Well, see, but one of the
Sat
great
there.
things that I really liked about those kind of games is it gave you the option of either A, carrying all that shit and kind of, realizing, oh, it's a game or whatever.
Yeah.
But you could immerse yourself by, like I said, building a house in like Hearthfire and things like that in Skyrim. Putting all of your
So you can
items that you
actively
find
place them.
and place them in the
I
house.
pick
As
up a
trophies.
flower
Well, see, I did that-
suddenly
and that was cool.
I'm overcome
I-
all the inventory.
Right.
I actually
Yeah.
did that with.
You are over encumbered.
Yeah.
I did that with Fallout 3,
Yeah.
where I would collect pieces, like the really cool shit, I would put on that shelf right there in the middle, and you lost that shelf if you ever got like one of the room mods, where it'd be like, you got the sexy room, or you got the laboratory room, where the whole house in Megaton got a theme. If you
Yeah.
ever got one of those themes, that shelf disappeared.
Game Guy says, speaking of inventories, FU State of
Oh,
Decay.
yes, a big
which,
fuck you to State
Yeah.
of Decay. Yeah, a big
Yeah.
fuck you to State of Decay and their
So
inventory.
let me ask you guys this, because I have friends that are that feel the opposite from me on this, in that I enjoyed. Did you guys ever play Mass Effect?
Yes.
I've
Yes,
seen people
Clearly,
Yeah, yeah.
Chuck played Mass Effect.
Will Shark? No Mass Effecting.
No, no Mass Effecting.
In the first one,
I literally just got my brand new system in the box. My rental office held it hostage for 3 days, and they apparently
then you went and
didn't actually think that the box that is about the size of half the size of a Foot Locker with the number
Was the actual box?
437 written
That's
in there was
fantastic.
my box.
so
State of Decay.
it was before State of Decay. Oh yeah. So from Mass Effect 1 to 2,
Yeah.
they streamlined the inventory system in that the armor that you wear, that you choose, has different bonuses, but it's not like you're constantly getting loot and upgrading shit. And so here's the thing that I hate. generally in games, the longer time I'm in a menu
Yeah.
doing inventory, putting on shit, comparing different things, the less I want to fucking play it. So when Mass Effect 2 came out and they just streamlined, they're like, you know what, you can put on whatever one you think looks the coolest, and they will more or less be effective. Do you like? But my friend Sam, for example, loves fucking loot ad infinitum. And we'll spend and love sitting in the menu with a fucking Excel spreadsheet and like going through the shit and min-maxing stuff and figuring out what is the absolute best armor. So where are you guys on that spectrum? And you guys in the chat as well.
Any armor, I do like good stats, but I will love it better if I can actually physically see it on my character.
Yeah.
Or if, like, what they've been doing in a lot of more recent games is have it where you can actually change the color of it.
Okay, yeah.
Such as in, I think Guild Wars was one of the first ones to do it, where you could actually dye your armor a particular color.
Dark Age of Camelot. You could do
That's
that
a
too.
huge thing in ESO.
Wow, Dark Age of Camelot.
Is everybody's dyeing their armors constantly.
Really?
You know, and I mean, and they have really cool, like a really cool option to do everything. You know, they have these dye stations where you can, it's a whole color wheel, but you have to unlock colors by
Gadget
doing,
have wares
you know,
if
whatever.
you have coin.
But
Zufo points out that there are some games, and even more so recently, he mentions Metal Gear Solid 5, that when you go to the menu, when you go to your inventory, or when you go into the HUD or whatever, it does not pause the game. The Souls series does this. There's no pause in Dark Souls, Demon Souls, Bloodborne, any of that. Metal Gear Solid 5, you know, if you're in a fight
Right.
and you have to go, you can't be like, everybody wait. Search.
Right.
Bigger gun. Okay, I'm ready now, you know?
Mm-hmm. No, it's true. But, you know, going back to State of Decay with what we were talking about earlier, and you said a lot of your friends were like that, right?
Right.
State of Decay. I think there's two types of people who played State of Decay. And that was the people who heard that it was coming out and was like, cool, and then played it, and then they liked it. And then the people who followed Undead Labs for 3 years before the game came out, getting nothing but promise after promise after promise from Undead Labs, the creators of it, visiting their website all the time, and then having a complete shamble of a fucking game given to you after they lied to you over and over again.
Fable, then.
So basically Fable, yeah.
Chicken Chaser.
Well, like the fact that for years, Undead Labs said that State of Decay was an online game where you could play with your friends, and I got so excited about it. And then I think it was like a month before the release, they were like, "Oh, we're not doing that." Everyone was like, "Oh, what?"
So literally, you just had what is it? The epic cock block.
Absolutely, because my cock was gonna just destroy that game. I was so ready for it, and then
they said,
"Yeah," they said no.
Okay, so
and that's why you don't pay attention to fluffers.
It's true.
And
Undead Labs is the biggest fluffer fucking ever.
In let's see, cool. Okay, think about armors now. Cool armors. Okay. And Game Guy, when we were doing our couch co-op on Friday, Game Guy pointed out some Batman armors he really liked. Jonathan mentioned that he liked Nolan's bat armor from Dark Knight, from the second film.
Yeah.
Best. Well, first, let me ask you guys about Batman. What's your favorite bat suit?
Okay, mine is Batsuit. Going on to Bat Tech real quick.
Yeah.
The favorite thing that I liked, which actually eerily turned out to be something that is current technology today, was whenever he had the cell phone inside the office and he used that to see all the other electronic devices and look in the building. Mm-hmm. That's something that can actually be done.
That's for realsies. Yeah.
Yes.
My favorite bat suit, I think... I'm a favor of Batman being able to turn his head left and right.
Right.
But I also kind of really like that when he has to do that full shoulder turn, like everything.
Game Guy, if you find our Steam account, our Steam group, then you can just share them with us.
I think he's just making fun of the fact that I haven't been on Steam in 3 weeks.
It might have been. That might have been just a Chuck dig.
Ah.
But thank you, Chuck. That's good enough. That's good enough. two to three head gets us the point and doesn't lose us viewers. What's your favorite batsuit, Chuck?
Oh,
I like the
He likes
Batman
the
from
bat
Red
nipples.
Sun with the Russian hat from Superman under the Red Sun.
In Soviet Russia.
you're asking the wrong person, because you were afraid of losing viewers before. Now you're really going to be afraid of losing viewers. I don't like Batman.
Well, that's okay. But of all the Batman you don't like, what's the suit from all the? Is it
No,
Adam
you
West?
don't get it. I don't like him enough that I don't give a shit what he wears.
Do you
Right,
not like
but
Superman either?
On that, you're aware of the variants of suit, though, yeah?
Barely.
Okay, let me ask you a couple. Batman Beyond. What do you think of that suit?
What?
Silly.
No,
dumb.
okay, no. The Keaton Batman. I know you've
Awesome.
seen the Burton.
The best.
No, it's good, but it was
Kilmer
the-
Nips. Kilmer Nips.
Neck
I would
brace
go. I would go
Batman.
Michael Keaton's armor over
Keaton's Batman's pretty cool.
Kilmer
Gillette,
Nips.
what up, dude?
Gillette, ¿cómo estás? Yeah, Bat Armor.
The armor for Ghosts and Goblins. Yes, thank you. Arthur's armor is
That's
amazing.
a good one, yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Unfortunately, the whole fucking thing falls apart if he so much as sneezes.
Some of my favorite armor. The glass armor in Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you why.
Are we talking about on male or female characters?
Yes.
Yeah.
There's a difference.
Well, because Steven you make female characters, right?
If I'm playing single player RPGs, yes. If I'm playing MMOs, it's a mix.
Did you like the glass on the?
Stop playing Sakura Clicker, you sinner. Sakura Clicker, sorry.
But
I mispronounced that.
Don't-
Game Guy is
don't-
pointing out Shark's Steam activity.
Not very much because my laptop can't handle it, but I can deal with clicker games, and that gives me the.
The anti-shark
anti-shark
spray. Yes.
spray,
We
the
need the
Batman
bad shark repellents
Yes.
right now.
I have mace, but that kind of kills everybody.
Dark Knight Rises armor. Gillette says.
I would
yeah.
I would prefer Bane's armor from that. The tactical vest and then the bomber jacket.
Yeah,
over
Dark Knight
it,
Rises
that
armor for
was
sure.
fucking awesome.
See,
The gloves, the fingerless gloves.
I'm
Bane's costume was amazing.
I'm in a minority here because I love Val Kilmer,
Really?
Yeah.
and I loved him as Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
I thought he was tormented, and it was fantastic. I mean, the movie was shit. Don't get me wrong, but it was just a theatrical, just fun ride from beginning to end. And Tommy Lee Jones, I mean, for God's sakes, the guy's acting his ass off in that movie.
He's giving it his.
He
He's
is
giving it
giving
his
it his
all
all.
for
No,
sure.
He's not acting his ass off. He was acting his
Back
ass
card.
off in No Country for Old Men.
Well, for sure,
In Batman Forever, that is what we refer to as chewing the scenery.
he really was though.
I will. I will point out though, just for the record, that the George Clooney Batman, being Batman and Robin, which people tend to shit on, and for good reason.
It was more like the campy comic style.
Well, that's actually where I'm going. Is
Yeah.
if you think of it not as a continuation of the Burton and then the Schumacher, if you just think of it as an Adam West Batman movie, now it's just
Then it's
fun.
now it's just
Fantastic.
fucking
Yeah.
You
hilarious.
stop
Well,
giving
see-
a shit about what the
Yeah,
plot
Zufo,
is,
it was that one.
and you just have fun with it.
Well,
The
see, I
Val
just
Kilmer
watched an
ones with the
interview
nips.
with Clooney, and they brought up Batman, and he
Is that where
started
he's
laughing.
mentioned that he destroyed the franchise?
yeah,
yeah.
and he started
I think it was
laughing.
Letterman.
Yeah, and he was just like, he goes, I had a blast doing that. He goes, and I don't.
Yeah, usually when people bring up Batman and Robin to George Clooney, his response is, you know what? I did Revenge of the Killer Tomatoes. Come at me, bro.
So cool armors then, and I mentioned the glass armor, and the reason that I like the glass armor in Morrowind was because that when I first started playing Morrowind, I didn't want to play it. My friends Sam and Glenn were playing it, and they were certain that I'd like it, but I wasn't a big RPG person. And so my friend Sam was like, well, let me tell you where to get the very best armor so you don't have to worry about that. And so that I played the whole game of Morrowind in glass armor.
See,
and
this is where I love having a higher level person to help you find all the good stuff, because this is really how I only ever accomplished anything in Final Fantasy XI.
Well, that's why you guys need to play ESO.
That's
because
how I had Blue Mage and the Corsair.
Well, most RPGs are have loot in them, or loot based and stuff
For
like
sure.
that. Another very famous loot based game, Borderlands.
Yeah, speaking of favorite guns.
Final Fantasy XI is the exception. That's the only MMO where there's no loot.
Right.
There is none. You get items.
some drops, but you don't necessarily get anything.
Right.
It's not really
You go
awesome.
you go out and you get in a
It-
group and you kill monsters, and then
Yeah.
you go back to the auction house and buy armor.
But you know,
Actually,
in
no,
that,
it's
much
sometimes
less
you can
stressful.
earn it. It's more of a gosh pawn of what piece you might get for MMOs.
Yeah, but it's much less stressful because even on ESO, and I think Gillette can comment on this too, is when you're constantly looking for loot in the next best armor. You know what I mean? It almost takes away from what you're doing in the game. You're like, oh, we're in this great boss battle. And you instantly are thinking, I wonder what he's going to drop. You know what I mean? Like,
You're not worried about the battle or what's going
exactly.
on. And that was
You
my
don't
thing
take
with
anything
Borderlands
in.
is I was always comparing weapons, and then I got to a point in Borderlands where I realized that like 99% of the guns that dropped were just shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Does
we've got
it
over
look
6 million
cool,
weapons in
and
our
does
hands.
it
Vendor
do
trash.
what makes
They're all vendor trash.
what
That's
I
true.
needs to see?
Yeah,
With
exactly.
the exception of what has to have been my most favorite handgun of all time in any game ever, period.
Yeah?
It was a drop from Borderlands. The first Borderlands game, it was a Jacobs revolver. It shot 6 rounds, and it was one of the most powerful guns I ever had. And not only was it the most powerful, when it hit, it did normal damage, and then it did all of the elemental damage and poison damage. It did everything.
Oh, yeah,
I loved-
all the elements.
I love the shit out of this gun.
I had an SMG that I liked that had an incredible spread. It was it was a close quarters weapon, and it fired.
CQC.
It had 5 or 6 shots per second that it fired, and each shot was 3 bullets. So I called it the blender because I would just run up to someone and hold down the trigger, and it'd just go woo, and then like they'd be dead, like in a million pieces.
So a little bit like a blunderbuss.
But there was a game with a blunderbuss. Was it
Jesus.
BioShock?
The first Alice game.
The first Alice game. Yeah, that had it.
There was
CQC.
something similar
Close
to
quarter
a
cut line.
blunderbuss.
Zufo.
World of Warcraft used blunderbuss.
They
But
did, didn't they?
The movie Looper.
Other cool armors from stuff.
Looper did. Yeah.
That's right.
Oh, I was
From games
gonna,
you played. Things that you thought, look cool or were great.
I was gonna bring up. Oh,
The Judge's armor from Final Fantasy XII.
Lean in.
do you need to lead in a little
Yeah,
more?
definitely.
Feliciate the mic, please.
The judge's armor from what?
Final Fantasy 12. I know, the one that absolutely
12.
nobody likes because, I'm weird like that when it comes to the Final Fantasy
I
series.
usually look at the pictures for the pretty things.
Well, okay. Let's go find a picture of Judge armor from Final Fantasy 12.
You see, I think.
Oh no, I know what you're talking about.
1, 2.
I do know what you're talking about. They had the full
Judge
plate, like the
Grant.
closed helm, right?
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
Judge
yeah.
Dredd.
Image.
I know what you're talking about.
Ooh, that's
Judge Dredd's got a cool
too.
helmet.
I am the law.
Did you ever see the? Did you see the
new one? The remake.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. I
Which
enjoyed it.
I loved it.
I thought it was really cool.
I was surprised by how much I loved that.
I
movie.
didn't realize it was gonna almost kind of be like a survival horror kind of movie.
Yeah.
because they were trapped in that kind of apartment complex the whole
Yeah.
time. I didn't realize it was gonna be that. And I like movies like
The
that.
thing that
Very
Dredd,
claustrophobic feeling.
the thing that Dredd did that is very, very difficult is the film, and this is just my interpretation of it, so take it for that. But it managed to have the villain objectify the female in the film without the film itself objectifying her, which is really hard. It's practically impossible to do. But I feel like Dredd managed to do that, and I was really impressed with the fact that they made the villain. The villain was villainous, but we weren't shown the objectification scenes. You know what I mean?
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Have
Anyway.
you played the Taken King Destiny player?
No, I have not played Taken King because Chuck MF Norris asked if we played Taken King. No, I haven't played yet the second DLC for Destiny. I'm just putting it off. I'm going to wait for the Taken King to either get cheaper or Bungie is going to have to come to my door and kick it in.
And fillet you while it gives you
I'm
the
really
value.
pissed at Bungie right now, so just Master Chief's armor.
Yeah.
No.
I hate it.
You hate it?
Absolutely.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's a silly
It's
concept.
boring.
It doesn't.
boring, yeah.
It doesn't really have a whole lot of that side vision, which is kind of what keeps you from getting killed in
Yeah.
combat.
Destiny has a 10-year plan.
Uh,
Well, I hope they change something up.
Yeah.
Did anybody else
I'll
play
get to it
Final
eventually.
Fantasy
There's
Heroes
that.
of Light?
which one?
Final
Heroes of
Fantasy
Light.
Heroes of Light. It was a DS game.
Heroes
Rather than having classes, they had crowns.
Interesting.
And you could change them?
Yes, you could. You would find them and earn them, and you could alternate who wore different things. You would earn it for all 4 of your characters, but
Sounds like Final Fantasy V.
Or
That was the first time
10 too.
Well, that was the first time the class system really showed up in the Final Fantasy series. And, of course, half the reason why the class system was so cool in Final Fantasy V is that every time you switched your character out to a new class, they got a really cool armor. And then they really took that concept and just ran with it in 10-2.
Destiny equals Scientology.
Yes,
I just read that.
It's
Chuck.
one of
That's
those.
great.
It's one of those self-loathing things, and I've talked a lot about how much I play Destiny and also hate it.
Right.
So I really.
Destiny equals gross Halo.
I'm all for Halo 5. Like I couldn't be more
Both
excited for Halo
statements
5.
are true.
But anyway,
You know, I want to talk
yeah.
The Witcher 3.
Yeah, tell me about you.
course
You want to
you
bring
do.
up the
I do
using
wanna
the
bring up-
inventory and stuff for
We're
that.
going to
Yeah.
talk about The Witcher 3
I
and
want to talk about
ESO.
The Witcher 3, and I'll tell you why.
There's not armors in that game. Like there's not different.
There is.
There
in
is?
Witcher 3, yeah.
Oh, okay, good.
There's tons of different armor. But I hate the inventory system only because it's damn near it's ridiculous to navigate. Okay,
I
first
felt that way
off.
about the first Mass Effect.
Did you?
Yeah, just I was like I don't know what the fuck I'm
yeah,
looking at.
you don't know what you're looking at. Half the time you press, you think you're going into one of the menus and then you'll end up on the top bar selecting another tab. And you're going, what's happening here? And again, grid menu. And
Oh, is it?
It is.
Is your inventory limited by the grid?
Your inventory
I
is
think we've
limited, but
reached
you don't
a
ever
point
really
where
feel
we
it.
understand that Will hates grids.
I do hate grid.
Okay.
You're not a
but-
Tetris
but-
player,
well, let
are
me.
you?
As
let
far
me-
as weapons go in The Witcher,
Yeah.
I absolutely love the swords. I love the combat. I love everything about it. It does have like a kind of a Dark Souls feel to it. But
right there in front of his face.
yeah,
Sorry.
thank you, Shark.
You weren't paying attention.
But then but one of the things that I just truly detest about The Witcher is I swear to God, you can fight 3 enemies and your sword breaks.
Really?
Always.
Okay, so what about that? That's something that stresses me out in games is that degradation system of weapons. Where as you use them, they lose endurance or whatever.
Yeah.
And that just stresses me the fuck out.
Which is kind of the point.
yeah, it does me
you're
too, yeah.
You're
Yeah,
supposed
but-
to get stressed out by degradation.
I don't
I
play
guess.
video games to get stressed out. I have enough stress and anxiety and trauma problems in the real world. I play video games to escape those. So if something's going to aggravate my anxiety, no thank you.
Zufo, I do agree with you. The combat can get a bit repetitive, but I don't know if you downloaded the new The Witcher DLC, new alternate finishing moves, which Good Guy Witcher released all their DLCs for free.
Does it include
Fantastic.
a unicorn?
Good guy.
No
Witcher.
unicorns.
Can I get a picture of Geralt with the cigarette in his mouth?
But I mean, what's fantastic is that the finishing moves alone are just incredible. The fact that you can just cut people's heads off, their arms off, cut them clean in half, kill 2 people at once, cutting their arms off. I mean, it's just it's
well,
crazy.
you
cool.
kind of
Yeah.
end up doing that because they usually bleed out,
Yeah.
Ooh.
even though it is just a flesh wound.
I got with something we've been ignoring.
Yeah.
Dead Space.
Dead Space.
Dead Space has good weapons, and as the games went on, they had cooler armors. Like Dead Space's armor was cool, like originally, and
it
they even
just got better.
the EA. It was either Mass Effect, Dead Space, and Dragon Age all shared some armors, like little bonus armors. Like I think it was
Yeah.
Mass Effect 2. You could get a Dragon Age armor that had sort of like the blood dragon like splattered across it or something, and then in Dragon Age you could get like a Dead Space looking set of armor where it had the lights down the back, and I always thought those were really cool.
Mm-hmm. Now, Zufo brings up a good point. What do you think about like the workbenches that they have in a lot of those?
Okay, so I like, and this sort of went to Dead Rising. And by the way, favorite weapon in Dead Rising 3 is the top level bomb you can make, which is like gas and fireworks and a microwave and like a bunch of shit that you put together, and it essentially is a nuke. Also, a shout out to the Fat Man in Fallout 3, or the Fat Boy.
Fat Boy.
Yeah,
No, Fat
mini
Man.
nuke. Fat Man,
It's a
yeah,
Fat Man.
yeah. And I like being able to adapt and sort of customize my weaponry. That's cool. But if the things that I just don't like being in menus to do it. So Dead Rising 3 did it well, where I grab a thing and I grab another thing and I, put them together real quick, and he gets down on his knees and I don't have to go travel to a bench or something. Doing it on the spot is fine. Last of Us, you could do it on the
so
spot.
maybe you should check out the Dragon Quest series of RPGs where you kind of throw things into a magic pot and then you come back to it and it does things. Yeah.
Yeah, that's okay. Oh, the flaming dragon head in Dead Rising was a lot of fun. Actually, Dead Rising had different levels of weapons. So, like, you could make a dragon head that you wore that would, spew fire. But as you found more pieces to it, you eventually created a dragon suit, which could glide over the ground. You could slash at people with your claws and then breathe fire on them.
So you turned into Trogdor.
It was a Trogdor. You got
Zufo's got a good one.
Yeah.
We've been talking shit about really bad HUDs and menus. Let's start talking about the good stuff.
I've noticed that games where the HUD fades in and out, I really appreciate. Or it's intuitive in the world somehow. So, like, instead of having your ammo meter on the side, if it's on the top of your gun or something when you're firing.
I love that.
I appreciate that. Minimalist HUDs.
How about games where it's both? Annoying as fuck?
Yeah, why? Yeah, and actually Halo does that. Like,
if it gets in the way of me actually being able to see what I'm killing, then I'm not going to like it.
Chuck motherfucking Norris, Minecraft, absolutely.
Minecraft.
Yeah.
There's so much HUD in that menu, or in that game, it's just crazy.
And pretty much any MMO, though.
Yeah, no, it's true, yeah.
Is you've got two hot bars in the bottom, you've got a hot bar on each side. You have all
ESO
your
just
shit
got
at the top.
worse. They just did a huge, like, 5 gig patch that, like, not only is the enemy's health up here, but then it's above their head, too. And, like, so you have two different health bars that you're watching across your
raids
screen.
are going to be just a cluttered cluster.
It already is a cluster. But
It's probably to try and kill some of the... Jesus, a lot of that stuff is usually done to change how it's processed by computers.
It's still better than EVE Online. You've got windows and windows and windows and windows and everywhere, and just like there was supposed to be a spaceship in the middle of the screen somewhere. I can't see through all the menus I have to go through to get this shit to go from one system to another.
Game Guy says Arma has a good HUD system because it's completely customizable. Star Wars: The Old Republic has a customizable HUD as well. Mm-hmm. But the thing is that even customized, like, I need all that shit out there so it looks like crap. So, but on the topic of good ones though,
Deus Ex: Human Revolution.
Deus Ex: Human Revolution was good.
Integral to the story because you started the game still human. You didn't have the really cool Neo glass or Morpheus glasses he has, so you didn't see health or anything. And then after the inciting incident that starts the opening sequence, you come back and you're a cyborg, and then you get the things tweaked in, and it all hurts. And it's just and then you finally see everything. Fine. I'll just put it right here.
Just be near it. Yeah.
There you go.
I love you, Mike.
But what was I thinking? Actually, the original Resident Evil.
Game Guy, Stanley Parable had a good HUD too, which is to say, it didn't have one.
But pretty much any game that doesn't have a HUD, a heads-up display, I'm a big fan of.
What'd you think of Arkham, the Arkham series?
That was good.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember the HUD, and I don't think there is one.
Exactly. It was fun, and even the menu was his little like hologram display.
That
wouldn't take you out of the game. It gave you an over-the-shoulder.
Intrusive.
Yeah, it gave you like an over-the-shoulder look.
What was
at what he was looking at?
What was the game that we were just? Splinter Cell. The later versions of Splinter Cell had really good systems where when you came into an area, it would project your objective like on a wall or something, as if a projector was projecting it, and it would sort of spell itself out, and then it would, so you could be like, cool. Look for the dude or whatever, and then it would go away, and then you could tell your.
That is Zufu. That is exactly why I both love and hate a lot of customizable character stuff.
Oh, spending 2 hours designing their avatar and stuff like that. Yeah, my friend Sam will get a new RPG, or he'll get an MMO. I'm like, okay, we're going to play tonight. So that means yesterday you need to start doing your character creation because that will be his whole night. Anyway, in stealth games, I don't like stealth meters. I just want to feel that I'm hidden or not. And so the way Splinter Cell does that was the game goes into black and white.
You have to
when
clarify
you're
conviction. Splinter Cell conviction.
Blacklist did it too.
Blacklist barely did it. Because they got so much of a player backlash from when they made convictions like, why does everything go into black and white? Why do we only see little colors? This is stupid. I missed the little light thing. Like, you know what?
Yeah, so Fallout, if Fallout 3, and this is...
Do you realize that if you put on night vision goggles, it's not in color?
Yeah.
right?
Thermals are usually black and white. I mean, you see that shit in Call of Duty all the time.
The Pip-Boy was kind of fun. Like that's actually like an iconic sort of inventory system. It's still, and I'm sort of against what I think one of our chatters mentioned earlier is I don't really much care for the game pausing when I go into my menu, because it's just it sort of pulls me out of the. So if the Pip-Boy could sort of project up into the air or something, and I could manipulate things on the Pip-Boy while the world is still going, then I would be more.
You can have rad roaches come up and try to eat your face.
Yeah, that means if I need to do shit on my Pip-Boy, I need to go find somewhere that I think is safe, as opposed to being like, oh, Deathclaw just slashed me across the face. Hold on a second, I'm going to pull out this rocket launcher. But
I'm going to sit there and make a rocket launcher out of toothpicks real quick. Just stand right there and wait.
Oh, that's what what there was a gun that did that in Fallout 3. You had to make, and then you supposedly were able to load whatever crap you found into the gun.
Oh yeah, like teddy
launch
bears. It was the launcher,
Yeah.
I think. That was a good one.
So like for the gun, it's literally a magical girl transformation scene for the weapon.
Oh, Dead Space. Dead Space had a good HUD. That
Yeah,
was one
you
of
just
those that
went-
was minimal because your health was represented on your back. You didn't need a health meter. There was a holographic sort of ammo
The stasis.
when you used it. The stasis was a fun
The stasis
weapon.
was also in your back, right there in the circle.
Yeah, the
Ow.
little menu, or not the menu, but
peeky
yeah,
ears.
you're right. It's represented. And whenever you went to a door, the little hologram would come out from the door for like open or use and stuff like that.
And
So
only if you were close enough to actually activate
Yeah.
the door. Once you saw it, if you got close enough to it, it would tell you whether or not it was locked or unlocked, and then you got closer to it, and then it would say you can or cannot open it.
right, yeah. And so yeah, I'd say Dead
Actual
Space is
body
really good.
armor sucks to wear.
It was
I'm just
the
gonna
actual
throw
body
that
armor
out
system.
there.
It does.
Yeah.
It does. It's heavy as shit. It's entirely
Zufo, yeah,
unbreakable.
With the
Zufo
actual
mentions Dead Space
ceramic
right about the
plates
same
and
time we did.
stuff.
Yeah.
It weighs as much as I do.
Yeah, but you're tiny, so a guy my
And
size.
then I try to stand up, and I can't do anything because my armor weighs as much as I do.
Again, you're your size, and then I'm my size. I
This is
I
why
get
I'm a
tired
rogue.
faster. This is why I'm the tank in real life, is because I can take this shit. So when I say I would love to wield a fire axe into battle against swarms of zombies, yeah, I can get away with that.
So do you guys get more excited in games for weapons or armor? Like if you're going to be upgrading and focusing on something, are you offense or defense?
I love the shit out of
Defense.
upgrading everything.
I like to upgrade everything. I like
Sure.
games where I can upgrade pretty much anything that I have. I don't necessarily have to go buy new stuff.
And I accept your answers, but I'm really trying to get you to choose one here because everybody leans
course you
one
are.
direction. That's the hypothetical.
I
The
like-
purpose of the hypothetical question is
I
to
go defense.
go defense. Okay.
I go on the attack for sure. But a huge thing about my gaming is I like to feel immersed. I like to feel as if I have control over what my character looks like, what he does. And so to me, if they do have a good armor system to where I can make my character feel unique, then
That's important.
That's very, very important to me.
Even in a single player game, that's
Yeah,
important.
absolutely.
But especially in multiplayer games, and that's something that Unity actually, Assassin's Creed Unity does really well.
Yeah.
Is you can customize a whole bunch of different shit about what you're wearing.
Not only whatever armor you have, from there you can also individually customize
then
different colors
the
of
colors.
each individual part.
Yeah.
So if you wanted to be this looks like a hobo with a circus clown fashion color
so
scheme,
Saints Row 4.
Yeah.
then, yeah.
you can do that.
Yeah.
No, not Saints
And
Row
apparently
4,
you
GTA
can have on high
5.
heels and still be the best assassin and climb up roofs.
Because that makes total sense.
Nobody's
ever going to see me in these bright purple trousers.
the hidden blade is a pretty iconic weapon as well now.
right.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna throw out the golden gun. Did you guys play GoldenEye on
course.
N64?
Who didn't?
It would just be the golden gun.
Did you have an N64, Shark?
I
access
didn't.
to
I
one?
had a friend that had one, and we would go over there and play sometimes. But mostly we played Mario Kart, and then I'd get dizzy.
Okay, so what about your favorite weapons in Mario Kart?
In Mario
Fuck
Kart,
the blue shell. Fuck you, blue shell. Whoever thought of the blue shell, fuck you.
No.
Fuck you.
The man who designed the blue shell deserves both a raise and a bullet in the head.
Actually, Zufu, most of the time whenever I play games, I usually play as a male character.
Interesting.
Huh.
Steven usually plays female.
I
You
don't
usually
care to play females most of the time. I prefer to play males.
Now, Steven, in the game, do you identify as female?
Do I identify as female in the game?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
As
That's
a
good
role
question.
as
Like,
a role playing aspect.
Am I role playing? That's an interesting question.
Chuck, that was not me being.
I didn't take it
you
as him
sure?
being like a.
Yeah,
Are
I
you
was-
sure? Because it had that tone.
No, I was legitimately saying.
Tang Tizzle, good to see you again.
Tank Tiz-
Well, if it's a legitimate question, then yes,
Says I'm a slut.
I will take the answer serious.
I am like,
I'm
no,
sorry.
but I'm actually trying to think about it. And that's a really
that's
good
an
question.
honest question.
So
I wanted to know,
I
like,
have
for a role playing game, like if you were playing like an online MMO, or
I tend not to in an MMO because of the way that female characters are treated in MMOs.
they're treated like goddesses.
Or
They're treated like
or-
goddesses and dirt in equal
and
measure.
children.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
that's true.
And
Yeah.
children. in just-
What were you gonna say, Shark?
whenever I played Burning Crusade for World of Warcraft, I actually had a male blood elf, and I played him as
Flaming the.
And you would be surprised how quickly, whenever people are like, "Wow, you sound slightly less than heterosexual," in the text chat, they will literally have their characters edge away from mine.
I was actually in Dragon Age. I was had a male character in Dragon Age, and I was trying to romance Severin, who is the male elf assassin kind of guy, and like really awesome character. And
For those of you who haven't played Dragon Age, Zevran's sexual preference is yes.
it's the John Barham in Doctor Who.
Yeah.
It's the Captain Jack in Doctor Who. It's
Omnisexual.
omnisexual. Yeah.
If you have genitalia, he wants to do naughty things to it.
And I was actually sitting with Joseph like while I was hitting on him in the game, and then I turned to Joseph and I was like, I don't have a problem with this at all, but you sitting here with me, it feels a little weird.
feels odd.
Like you're watching a porno
Yeah.
with your friend and you realize he's touching
Yeah,
himself.
like you go, check this part out. This is the really good part.
Oh man, Dragging Age. Zufo, you
You
watch
didn't
your
keep that
mouth.
up long enough.
You watch your mouth, Zufo.
Dragging age.
Actually, I'm going to think about that. Will, that's a good question. I don't know. I don't actually know that it would make any difference in my head, even if I were.
Because me and Gillette, we nerd out hard when playing ESO. We talk to each other in like,
character?
in gentleman rhetoric. Like I mean, we're like back and forth. It's constantly like, because his character's name is Thoric Odinson and mine is Rukin Bloodmoon. So I mean, back and forth. It's constantly. I
would love to
wondering
watch
whether
that.
you were
We
Thoric.
must
I mean,
stay.
constantly. So I'm just wondering,
That is fabulous.
do you ever?
I role
Role-playing
played
that somewhere.
once. My friend Sam and I, when we played Final Fantasy
Good
XI,
point, the game guy. Thank you.
we
very
went
much.
up. Yeah, Game Guy's good. Yeah, that was actually my joke. Game Guy, that was part of my joke. But the Sam and I went up to my character's name was Krothos because my character's name is always Krothos in games.
See, mine's always Rukin Bloodmoon.
So we realized that there was a shifting weather in Final Fantasy XI, and that was something that I really appreciate in games. If there's
love.
Environment.
if I know that
Absolutely.
the environment's not going to be the same every single time I visit it, I get really excited.
Me too.
So we went up into the Highlands or whatever, really near one of the starting areas in 11, and we our characters just sat down and we sort of watched a storm blow in.
Yeah.
And he said, I said, looks like a storm's brewing in. Looks like storm brewing.
Yeah.
And he goes, I reckon so. And I said, we don't has to reckon, we can seize it. And so from then on, I sort of role played that character as this like Southern Cajun, like, let's get on out there, but
Name old Krotos.
let's go kill them rock lobsters.
Man, no, we're gonna go get some crawfish, put in the gumbo now. Mon Shelly.
There he is, Mr.
Mon Shelly.
Bloodmoon. Nobody
And
cares what you like. that's always
Hey,
it's
now
back and forth
Gambit
with each
just
other.
trying to be friends.
oh my goodness. I guess we can wind down now, guys. Thanks for watching. A couple of things I'm
I
gonna
don't want to
have
go home yet.
the people plug their shit. Starting with Shark. Shark has a webcomic, and she's gonna put it in the chat. It is hedgiehates.com if you're listening to us on audio, and it is about her hedgehog Boo who hates
Everything.
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 If you want to
Based
go,
on a real hedgehog.
Except for on April Fool's Day, where she will love something.
Oh, yeah.
But it's usually horrible.
Like,
Because that's what hedgehogs
canker
do.
sores.
Ooh.
If you want to get on with Will Roth and his music, you're going to want to go to moonlightnative.com.
Yeah, or you can go to iTunes and check out Moonlight Native. Download the new EP. Find us there or on Spotify.
I mentioned this to you yesterday, Will, but
I should have brought my copy.
Before I wanted a physical copy, but before that, I looked it up on like Google Play and stuff, and I almost got it on Google Play, but decided to get the physical copy instead. Not both.
Thanks for doing that, by the way. though.
For what?
For buying one.
Oh yeah, man.
Appreciate it.
But I looked at the track list, and there are 9 tracks on it. And I was like, that's not a fucking EP. And so I was going to rail you on that. And so when I actually get the album, it's 2 discs. It's 5 and 4, or 4 and 5. And I was like, so I said to Will, I was like, oh, so this is how you get away with calling it an EP.
Yeah, it's true. Well, the whole reason we did call it an EP in the first place was it is a 5-song EP, and the second disc, those 4 songs, are all produced by Noah.
Yeah.
So it's a 2 separate thing. Yeah.
Okay.
So the EP is the first disc, the first 5, and then the next 4 are
That makes a bit more sense.
produced by us.
So yeah, check out Moonlight Native on iTunes, Google Play, moonlightnative.com. Also at Will Roth Music on Twitter.
Yeah, that's right. Chat with me.
He's got Twitters and stuff. Chuck is on Steam and on Xbox and on Twitch, although it's not active. But it's
neither is the Steam right now for the same reason, in fact.
But it is Byronic Commando, the same username that you've been seeing in the chat.
And if I'm gonna plug anything, it's anybody in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Sci-Fi.
Oh yeah, Sci-Fi Factory in Lake Worth. If you're in the DFW Metroplex, Sci-Fi Factory in Lake Worth is where you can find Chuck. Dragonfly 1972 Works is the manager there, and Angry Cuddles is frequently there. We have our graphic novels actually in the store. One of our limited edition comic prints is in the store, all framed and nice and pretty.
The 501st is going to be there on Saturday.
Really?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, they're doing the toy run. So we're having this huge Star Wars day.
I love those folks. They're so awesome.
This is the cool shit that we do. It's just a thing.
Down at the bottom of the screen, you see webcomic, angrycuddles.com. That's where we want you guys to go. And if you guys could, do go there and check it out. Check out our webcomic and go through some of our comics. We really need the traffic. And hopefully we'll be getting a site upgrade soon. But also check out our social media and follow us over there. It's above Shark's Head. All that stuff. If you follow us on YouTube or subscribe to us on YouTube, then you'll get the replay of this show right now. You'll also get the comedic shorts. We just did one with Mike where he played Snake. And I don't want to ruin it for you, but there's a Metal Gear comedic short that we did that's up on our YouTube channel right now. Also, I'm going to have Shark hold this up. Good catch, Shark.
Nice catch.
If you guys would, you can go click on the Shop Now button on our Facebook page, or you can go to angrycuddles.com/store, and we have Angry Cuddles shirts that says, "You'll like me when I'm angry." It's, a joke. With our little Terry the teddy bear guy there. Those are $15 and to support us. We're going to be at Dallas Comic-Con, which is at the Irving Convention Center. October 16, 17, 18. We're going to be giving away comic prints. We're going to be selling comic prints. We're going to be selling mugs and shirts and graphic novels and meeting everybody and shaking hands and kissing babies. Or we might kiss hands and shake the babies.
Shake the babies.
Which is good for them, I'm told.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you get the delicious head meats.
Oh God!
Delicious.
It's like the flavor text from Fable, the crunchy chick. It's the bones that make it crunchy.
When it actually took me a long time to get that joke.
Really?
Whenever I go through. Okay, here's my thing. Like with inventory, last bit on inventory systems before we go.
Yeah.
In the Dark Souls games, the Souls series, Demon Souls, Dark Souls.
Yeah.
The story is told through the inventory practically, because each item you get has a history and it tells you the story of it and where, what legend is. And you sort of put all the pieces together to create the story in your head. But I don't do that. I grab a sword, I look at its numbers, and then I use it or not. Mm-hmm. And so, half of that story was missed.
That's pretty much what I do. Does it look cool and does it have good stats?
Right. Yeah.
If it doesn't fit one of those two, I don't give a fuck.
I actually had a point when I started talking. I completely forgot what it was. But, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, visit us at Dallas Comic Con. Please come by and see us if you guys are going to that. Also, I'm going to PAX in January. So if you guys are going to PAX South,
Oh, I'm going to PAX.
I think Will's going to PAX.
Chuck
Yeah.
is broke.
I have no idea. what
Corporate
I'm
Cal
doing.
bought me a ticket.
Corporate Cal.
Yeah, he did.
If you guys go check out Corporate Cal's Twitch, also he plays League of Legends, and
He plays LOL.
and he's a douchebag. I will tell you right
plays-
now.
He's a douche.
He plays End of Life. That's what it's
Okay,
called.
just so you know, it's fantasy football season, and he and Corporate Cal just are just hating each other right now. So it's starting to spill over into Twitch space.
My favorite part of his Twitch channel is watching his LOL chat while he's playing against other players, because someone will be like, "Oh yeah, nice move, Cal," sort of sarcastically, and then he will defend himself, but in like the dumbest ways possible. It's really fun to watch.
This is how I got the SpaghettiOs. I had a cat on the keyboard. It needed petting.
Guys, if you haven't yet, follow us. Click the follow button and share us. That's really important. Share us with someone. Follow us if you haven't. We're at 74 followers, and a 75th would just be the best.
Because remember, when we hit
100. Dress, suit, dress. It's going to be awesome. Thanks, guys, for watching, and we will catch you next time. My name is Steven.
My name's Chuck.
I'm Will.
I'm Shark.
So long, everybody.
Bye.
Hadouken!
Is a